As you begin adding elements to the web pages within your site, it can become a bit unwieldy to keep track of all the different components of your site that you're working with. Fortunately, Dreamweaver has an assets panel that helps you to keep track of, well, the assets of your website. Let's take a look at some of the benefits that the assets panel provides. Now, I'm beginning this video with the Dreamweaver application already open on my computer. And one of the things that I've done in advance is I've created a new site for the Chapter 5 folder. And really this is pointing to my 05 images folder inside of my exercise files folder. Now, within the files panel, you'll notice that it simply shows me all of the different folders and files within my site that I've defined. Now, you'll also notice up here, right next to the Files panel, you'll notice you have the tab for the Assets panel. And I'm going to go ahead and click on that to display the Assets panel. Now, if for whatever reason your Assets panel is not at this location over here, you can move it over here. And if you don't see it at all, simply go to the Window menu and choose Assets from the menu. Now, the Assets panel is broken up into a couple of different areas. And one of the things we have way over here on the left-hand side is a set of buttons that basically allow me to filter what's displayed by asset type. So you'll notice the first button here is the images. Then we can click on colors, links, Swift files, Shockwave files, movies, scripts, templates, and library items. Now, we don't have every single asset type in our site here, but if you click on the first button, this will show us all of the images within our site. And one of the things that I like about this assets panel is that in the upper area here, when you click on one of the images as the asset type, we get a preview of what that asset looks like. And this is something that the Files panel alone does not provide. So this is great when you're building your site, and especially if somebody else has given you these images and you're really not sure what the image is based on its name. You can simply click on the different images to see a nice preview of what they look like. Very, very nice. Now, if for whatever reason you are not seeing these images, or you're not seeing all of them, this first button down here in the lower right corner will refresh the site list. And if you click on that, it's going to scan your site folder again, and then hopefully update all of your assets. Another thing that's really helpful in this images section is that you'll notice we have the name of the image, but then we also have a second column over here with the dimensions. And if you followed along already in the CSS section, where we had to create divs that are a certain size based on the image size, you'll understand how helpful this information can be, because we can see the dimensions of the images directly inside of Dreamweaver. Very, very helpful. Now, in addition, what you can do is you can select a certain file. So, for example, the Jummy logo. Maybe we're going to use this quite often inside of our site. What we can do is we can add it to our favorites. So if we select an image, we can come down here, and all the way to the right, in the lower right corner, we have an Add to Favorites button. So I'm going to go ahead and click on that button, and it's going to tell me that the selected asset is going to be added to the site's favorite list. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and you're really not going to see anything change right now. But what you are going to notice is that if you come up here and click on the Favorites radio button, that will filter what's displayed to only the favorites in the images category. Again, another really nice thing about how the Assets panel helps you to organize all of your assets. So I'm going to go back to the Site radio button. And last but not least, I want to show you that if you do select an image, down here, the second button is the Edit button. And if you click on that, that will open that image in your default image editor. So now if I wanted to make any changes or edits to this image, it's quite easy for me to do. I'm going to go ahead and quit Photoshop because I don't need it any longer. Let's go ahead and click on the second button here, which is our colors. And what that's going to do is it's going to scan my site and display any colors that I currently am using based on the hexadecimal value defined for that color. And you can see that we have about 4 colors right now. And certainly as you build your site and you add more colors to it, this list of hexadecimal values is going to grow, and you're going to see more of those colors. You can click on the third button to show the URLs. Currently, I don't have any URLs defined in this site, but that's okay. And again, we can go down into each of these additional categories to view all the assets within those different categories. I'll just go ahead and click on images once again. So now that you know how the Assets panel works, be sure to take advantage of its features. It's a great way for you to see items that are being used and are available to use within the site that you've defined inside of Dreamweaver CS6.